Hey, welcome to another edition of Real Folk Talk. Real topics, real passion, real talk. I am OBJ. I will be your host for this evening, or this afternoon, this morning, whenever you're listening to it. Today, we're going to talk about something that people tend to glance over, but not actively discuss.
And hard to come by. Beautiful.
And that is loyalty. What is loyalty? And how have we gone so far from the concept that it's almost alien to us today? Well, in a nutshell, loyalty is the ability of two people or one person to be faithful to another, to be beholden to them, to be loyal to them. I got your back no matter what. That's loyalty. How does that translate to today's dating marketplace? And once again, why has it come so far? Why have we fallen so far as a people from this simple but noble ideal? We're going to start by going to Fresh and Fit. Shout out to Fresh and Fit. I've been watching them a lot as of late, and they're a group. They're a podcast that I could take some, I could leave some, but all in all, I can't fault them for what they talk about. And what they talk about is how men can level up to compete in today's marketplace. Now, we're gonna go over to their podcast because this is one part I want you to listen to, and then we'll discuss it later on. Here we go.
It doesn't really have anything to do with masculinity or a femininity thing. It's just decency. That's all it is. You have to respect each other.
Embarrassment for a man is going to be different than embarrassment for a woman.
How?
It's going to be, it's like a woman, you can say, oh, I don't want to be embarrassed by my guy, but for cheating, let's say for cheating, right? If you're with a certain level of guy, you're going to have to accept the fact that he's going to fuck other girls. Yep.
I will say one thing about it.
That's another uncomfortable reality women don't understand.
Even if it eventually stops, it's like in the initial.
I'm sorry, but like, what is the point of me? And I'm not gonna say that this is gonna change my whole perspective on anything, but what is the point of me trying to be a good woman, trying to be subordinate to my man or anything like that, when he's just gonna go ahead and cheat on me at the end of the day?
Okay. There is the first major lie that feminine teaches women. All men are going to cheat. Do men cheat? Absolutely. Should you be aware of that? Once again, absolutely. There's an old saying that men are going to do what they can do. And another one from Chris Rock saying that men are only as faithful as their options. Meaning the more options they have, the less likely they are to be faithful. What makes us different from the rest of the animal kingdom is that we can choose to be faithful. We can choose to be loyal. We can choose, on the other side, we can choose to be a dog. We can choose to play out. We can choose to cheat. But the word there is choose. We chose this path. And a lot of times the path is chosen from a guy's point of view because something is missing at home. Alexander O'Neill and Sherelle said it best. All the things I miss at home. You give me attention. You understand my needs. And that, we're going to break it down in a minute. Well, we're going to come back to them. Put a pin in it. We're going to come back to it. But let's listen to more about what they're saying, and we're going to listen to Fitz or Myron's answer to this.
Whether I'm the main chick or the side chick, either way, a main chick, like,
Are we talking about high value men? Because remember,
Yeah.
I'm going off this high status guy that you started the question with.
yeah, a high value man. But like, to me, that is not a high value man. I'm sorry, but like, if I'm gonna be the main chick, like, to me, that's telling me that there's a side chick. I'm just getting extra bonuses. That's it, extra benefits from it.
Okay, so
I don't want to share a man at the end of the day.
let's do some simple numbers. Well, we already showed you here what the caliber of men these higher status men, they're rare, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's beautiful women everywhere.
Yeah.
So who has the leverage?
Doesn't matter. It's called
Answer the
self-control.
question. Who has the leverage?
Please use logic.
I want you to use logic here, not your
Gallant
feelings. Who has the leverage?
Okay, quick question. Who has the leverage? And don't give me feelings. I want facts, I don't want feelings. Because feelings would be, oh, I feel like, but that's not the question. The question isn't, how do you feel? The question is, who has leverage? Spoiler alert, men do.
The men do. I'll answer for you. Because supply and demand, basic economics. The more scarce something is, the more it goes up in value. Correct? So these men are rare and hard to come by. Beautiful women are not. So what happens? All the women, like I said before, as we saw earlier with Pineapple and all your guys' standards, you guys eliminated most men in your standards. So inadvertently, what you've done is you've given leverage to these same high-value men that you're going to say are cheating. So I always say men are as faithful as their options. So if a guy has the ability to cheat, he's going to do it, whether you know it or not. We tell guys on this podcast, if you're going to run around and smash other chicks, you should let your girl know. You know what I'm saying? But most guys aren't going to do that. It is what it is. So we tell girls, prepare for the rain. It's going to come. If you deal with a guy that earns a certain amount of money, has a certain level of status, he's going to fuck other girls because he can.
Yes and no. Yes, you can tell men to be upfront. And no, they're not going to tell for the most part. And why? Because the woman's going to leave them. Which ties back to a very important point regarding men and women. Men can cheat and still love their woman. Men can cheat and still have the love of their life. Why? Because it really doesn't mean anything for them to have sex. It's an urge. It's an itch you gotta scratch. And after you scratch it, do you continue scratching it? No. It's done. You're on to the next thing. Women, on the other hand, for them to cheat means that they've fallen out of love with their man. Again, for a woman to cheat, that means that they have fallen out of love with their man. Which in turn explains why men can be so devastated when a woman leaves. It's betrayal of the highest order, because a man will give anything up into, including his life, for the woman he loves. I'll say that again. A man will give anything up to and including his life for the woman he loves. There's a reason why there's a song by Prince saying, I would die for you. And throughout history, there are songs all about that. What's his name? Bruno Mars, in one of his songs from the mid to 20 teens, said he would die for you, but you don't feel the same. He would take a bullet. He'd jump in front of a train. Anything to ensure your happiness, your continued happiness. It's another song by Mason. He was saying, I want you happy even if it's not with me. That's love. I want to see you happy even if it's not with me. Which is a real nice way of, interesting way of saying, I want to see you succeed. I want to see you thrive. And it'll make me happy. It'll hurt me. But it'll make me happy to know that at least you are fine. And dovetailing back to the whole loyalty thing is loyalty are one of the, I'd say, handful of traits that a man wants out of his prospective mate. And it's pretty high up on it. It's not. It's near the top, if not at the very top. Loyalty. And loyalty comes down to what a woman does by nature. What does a man mean when he says he wants loyalty? He simply wants to know that you're not going to have sex on him behind his back. Which is a given, because when women fall in love with men, they don't see anybody else. They see nobody else. It's you and me against the world. It's a very simple concept, this loyalty concept. It's where you get the phrases like ride or die, thick as thieves. I remember back in the day, my best friend, when we'd be at his house, his mother would call us either Bartles and James or frickin' frack. And we were loyal to each other. That was our friendship. That's the relationship that we forged, was in friends, brothers and arms, friends. And that's one of the things that came about with the whole, once you get it, you got it. Once you get it, it's yours. I don't want it. I don't care how fine it is. You had it. I'll experience it through you. And I'll be happy for you. Because you got it. You got it before I did. More power to you. Now, segueing away from that for a little bit, there is a young lady, black lady, at the top of the table who is going to do something. And once again, coming back to consequences, as a consequence of what she does, something's going to happen to her. Let's see if we can find out what.
So what advice would you give? So a high value man, either way, 98% chance he's going to cheat, right?
Yep.
Are you telling women to go after a lower value man because he's just not going to
You have
cheat?
two options. You can either get this higher status guy and accept the fact that you're going to have to share him sexually, which isn't that big a deal. It's actually a W for you. Because remember, men and women are not the same. We can have sex and still love our girl the same. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No,
See? That's what I'm saying.
no,
yeah.
no,
See,
but-
like, look at her face. You can just get her face on this.
Where's the psychology behind that? Where's the facts behind that?
It's biological.
It's simple. Men are hardwired to spread their seed. Women are hardwired to save their eggs for the best thing they can get. So for men, the best chance for them as a species to survive would be to impregnate as many females as possible, because that is how their progeny will continue. Because we're not just unlike in animals in a very important way. Excuse me, and that is the strongest. As far as history is concerned, the strongest males mate the females, and the offspring come out. And the offspring also tends to be strong. The strong survive and the weak just perish. It's harsh, but it's life. Now, with the advent of the modern day technology, everything we have, we don't worry about that as much. It's no longer a matter of having to be the strongest to continue your bloodline. Because as a species, we propagate. We have we become the dominant species on the planet. So it's not about doing it to survive, but innately inside, hardwired, biologically, those statistics, those feelings, those facts haven't changed in thousands of years. They haven't changed. Men feel the biological need to impregnate as many females as possible because they're playing a numbers game. Now, with advances in today's modern medicine, this is not a thing anymore. But back in the day, 1,000, 2,000 years ago, not every woman that's impregnated will carry the term. Even now, not every woman that's impregnated will carry the term. Now, they stand a better chance now with modern day medicine. But you can still have a miscarriage. You can still have a stillbirth. And that's with modern medicine. Think how much worse it was back in the day.
How many kids can you bring to term per year?
2, yeah, 1.
One.
Well, it's two of the twins, but yeah.
Okay. So
The average girl.
Yeah,
Like,
so-
come on, girls.
yeah, so you could bring one child to term per year, right? So obviously you're going to be extremely invested in the person that you have sex with, right? Because you're going to be pregnant for 9 months and vulnerable, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many kids can I bring to term per year?
As many as you can.
Exactly.
As you want.
Sperm is cheap, eggs are expensive. So that translates over to sex. That's why men have high libido. That's why men have more testosterone. That's why men can have sex detached. Because in the ideology of procreation, we don't have to invest much to have sex, but you guys do. So men and women don't look at sex the same. For men, it's strictly physical. For women, there's emotional ties to it. So if your man is taking care of you, protecting you, you have the last name, you have the ring, you have the children, whatever it is, and he runs out and has sex with some dumb hoe, it doesn't matter.
She's dumbfounded. That's a simple, uncomfortable truth. Simple and to the point. It doesn't matter. When guys get caught and a woman asks the guy, how did you do that? Oh baby, it doesn't matter. That's the God's honest truth. It doesn't matter. I was horny and she was there. That's the truth. I was horny, she was there. Now, loyalty puts a different spin on that, because when you're loyal to your partner, then they move in the space knowing that they don't have to worry about you. See, once again, men can sow their seeds. But the difference when loyalty is introduced is that yes, you can, but no, you won't. And in the case of a relationship, it's because there's somebody waiting for you at home. There's somebody special waiting for you. And you can keep it in your pants till you get home. Now, as I said before, men can't run that hard. Something from the legendary Chris Rock. Men cannot run that hard. They're not that fast. They're not going to outrun something like that. If a woman is going to throw herself at him, it takes superhuman effort to deny it. Real talk. Women, on the other hand, are more prone to deny the request because they've been getting guys throwing themselves at them since they were 13. Every time a guy talks to a girl that is of age, that has reached puberty, it's with the knowledge or the desire for them to have sex with them. And that's what I remember saying, that I am the only man that you're going to meet that only wants what's best for you. There are no ulterior motives. And that's as real as I can say it. There is no reading between the lines with me. There are no lines to be read. In between, sideways, back and forth, or otherwise. What you see is what you get. And in my worldview, I say things for two purposes. The first purpose is to make you think. I show an ulterior point of view, another variable to throw into the mix. The other thing is I want to teach you something. I want to impart what I've learned to help make you a better person. If my pain can be used as a step stool, a ladder, or whatever, so someone can reach a higher plane and be happier for it, then it's worth it. It is worth it. Back to the video.
It really doesn't. Because sex for men is like taking a piss. The reason why you don't understand this is because you're looking at it from a female lens. If you love a man, you would never cheat on him, correct?
100%, yeah.
Yes, because women are not capable of cheating on a man that they love. But men are capable of cheating on a woman that they love because we show loyalty differently. And that's the biggest mistake women make, is they think that loyalty between men and women is symmetrical. It's
okay. I'm gonna play this again in a minute, and I want you all to listen very closely to what he says. And then we'll discuss it.
asymmetrical. A man shows you loyalty by willing to die for you, protect you, sharing his resources with you, giving children to you, and the emotional investment. A woman shows loyalty by what? Not fucking other people. We show our loyalty and love completely differently, and I need women to understand that we are different. That's the way it's been since the beginning of time. Women have accepted this since the beginning of time. That's why we have the society that we have, and things aren't going to change just because of social norms.
Myron distinctly put into words what we were just talking about earlier. Men's loyalty is all about commitment. And they will commit to you, body and soul. They will protect up to and including giving their life. They'll provide. They'll take care of things monetarily or whatever. They'll do those things. And in return, they want a woman who's not going to sleep around. Because hardwired into women is, this is the best I get, I'm going to give my all to him. Now, where things go left is when loyalty is called into question. And things tend to go left when it comes to cheating. In an ideal world, two things happen. Either A, there'd be no cheating, or B, people would sleep around and they'd be completely understanding about it and life would be wonderful. But we don't live in that type of world, do we? And that in itself brings up another valid argument, another point of contention. Women complain that men are dogs. And this is because 100% of women want 20% of men. That's 100% of women wanting 20% of men. That means 80%, the overwhelming majority of men don't exist. They're invisible. They might as well not exist. They get no play. And that's why, when I was at my lowest point, I began to focus on me. Because I was at the point where something had to give, something or someone had to make me happy. So I thought, why not me? Why not? Simple question. If I need to be happy and no one else is going to make me happy, it might as well be me. So I began to work on myself. I became more confident. I became my stature was raised. I could puff out my chest a bit. I could walk with a swagger. I began to feel good about myself and my role in life. Because I was at that point, I was thinking, well, look, if I'm going to be happy, if I'm going to be miserable, I'm going to at least be happy doing it. If I'm going to be lonely, I'm going to be the happiest lonely person you may have met in your life. And that's when I met my missus. That's when I met her. Because I was, if I had met her, let's see, 3 or 4 months sooner, we wouldn't have got together. Because I was down on myself. But I got to a point where I can't be down on myself anymore. It's not a good look. So I'm going to be a better person for me. I'm going to prioritize my happiness. And once I got a hold of that and began to act on it, everything started looking up. And I met my wife. But at the time, it was my girlfriend. Loyalty is a fluid term. And I say it's a fluid term because people tend to conflate it with submission. And submission has become a dirty word. Why in the universe would someone want to be subservient? I'll say it again. It's not what you think it is. At all. But you can't explain that to people. Because there are a lot of people out there who hear that word and simply get negative. Progressives are negative. Liberals are negative. When did they become a dirty word? When did it become bad to be progressive, to be liberal, to be submissive, to be loyal? See, everything touches everything else. It's all connected. It's interconnected. It's like the butterfly effect. A butterfly flaps its wings in China, and there's a monsoon in New York. Everything touches everything else. There are no such thing as independent actions. Because somewhere, be it in close proximity or further away, it's going to affect someone else. Either directly or indirectly. This was one of their better videos. This one was close to 4 hours, 3 hours and 44 minutes. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Let's play this right here.
Bro, you keep talking and you're talking. Shut the fuck up. God damn it, I gotta say it, man. Damn, bro. You are being like extremely disruptive to the show.
I really want to know.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna answer right now, but I'm seeing if you guys know to see what the body of knowledge is like. Okay? Well, I'm gonna answer right now. The reason why men care so much about a woman's sexual past and her virginity is because they want to know that the kid is theirs. If you're a virgin and you're untouched, I know that when you become pregnant, it's my kid.
Okay, I mean
That's why men are so concerned with that.
It only gets worse from here. It only gets worse. It all ends in tears. But this is the type of woman that your mama warned you about and that your daddy told you about. You can watch this video and I guarantee you, if you watch her, she's feeling herself up. She's jockeying her bootstraps. She's playing with her hair. All this stuff because somebody that was horny thought that if they complimented her, they would get some. And that's what attraction really comes down to. Anytime you see a woman who does things like that, and there are two times that they'll do things like that. One time is when they're in the proximity of a male that they like. And that's just a not so subtle way of showing that they're interested. Or they're trying to show you how beautiful they are, and they do things like that. They'll adjust themselves. They'll play with their hair. They'll play with their boobs. Not a good look. Because I could break this girl down right here and right now. But I'm not going to do it. Mainly because it'd be a waste of my time. She'll never hear it. So why bother? And that's another thing I'm going to tell you, both ladies and gentlemen. When you're in a situation and it's not going to plan, extricate yourself from it. Oh, sure, you can stay with it. You can attempt to overpower, bend it to your will. But more times than not, you'll fail. And all you have is anger and or hurt feelings. I know that I have very little chance to interact with that woman. I also know that even if I could do it, I wouldn't, because I don't like her. And it has everything to do with how she presents herself. Does she look good? Yeah. Not my type of tea, but she's alright. Would I smash her? No. And I say that because I am one of those type of people that tends to think 2 and 3 and 4 times before I get myself into a situation. If I see that you're coming off as a thought, as a 3 or 4, as a baby mama, as a hood rat, as someone for the streets, I know that's not me. And I will politely excuse myself from the situation and be about my business. I wouldn't touch her. I'm not saying that you don't have to. If you want to, you can get it and she's with it, fine. but know the consequences. It's another recurring theme of the dating marketplace. Everything touches everything else, and there is always consequences. The bill always comes due. Sometimes it's quick, sometimes it takes a while. But the bill always comes due. Shout out to Baron Morton. Anyways, as I was saying, this video is close to 4 hours. If you have the time, I highly recommend you watch it. This is like a Kevin Samuels video. Shout out to the Godfather, rest in peace. In which he gives the energy that he's given. You're nice and pleasant, he's nice and pleasant. You start ratchet, he comes back at you ratchet. Because there's one thing that women need to learn about men, and more importantly, high value men. When you have as many options as high value men have, you can become extremely picky on the people you want to interact with. You can tell people what they need to hear, not what they want to hear, what they need to hear, because it's no difference to you. Makes no never mind. And people like Kevin, people like Myron, people like Coach Greg Adams, shout out to him, and other people in the space, they've gotten to the point where it's like, I got mine. I can show you how to get yours. But like the saying says, I can take a horse to water, but I can't make it drink. I can show you how to act. I can show you what to say. I can teach you what to do. But I can't make you do any of it. And that's where a lot of guys fall short. This whole sim culture, it's amazing to me. Because as I said in the previous video, everybody at some point has been a simp. Now it's been made a point to me that a simp is somebody who goes above and beyond for a woman. But when you're truly in love with somebody, that's what you do. You go above and beyond because you love that person. There's nothing you won't do for them. It goes beyond the physical to the mental and emotional, and even spiritual. You telling me that somebody, that a man who loves a Muslim woman and to please and be a part of her world becomes the Muslim himself is a simp? Miss me with that. I think we need to find another word to describe, okay, a beta. That's another word. Because going above and beyond is something that people who are truly in love with do freely. They don't do it for brownie points. They don't do it for validation. They don't do it because they feel they're going to get laid at the end of it. They do it because they want to do it. That's a way that they show that they're serious. In closing, loyalty has fallen upon hard times. People don't know how to be loyal. They don't even know what it is. And to paraphrase it, to me, loyalty is going above and beyond the call of duty. Loyalty is one of those key ways of showing somebody what you mean to them or how they care. Loyalty is an endangered species. How can we say that? Start by practicing it. First, find out exactly what it means. Find out if there's anything that you can do to make it a part of your life. And then do it. Simple. If being loyal means you stay away from temptation, if loyalty means you do what you say, do it. Don't question nothing. And the rewards are beyond measure. Rewards are a happy, stress-free, and peaceful life. Because if you do what you're supposed to do, she can't complain. Both male and female do better. And with that, we come to the end of another one. Remember, we operate in the rule of 5. 5. Like, comment, subscribe, notify, share. Things that you tend to do anyway if you really like the product that we're putting out. And by doing those 5 things, you can help us grow organically. You can help us reach more people naturally. And the more we grow, the more we're going to reward you. Because I'm telling you, the best is yet to come. And with that note, this is your highly favored, humble, and grateful host, OBJ, Jedi Warrior. This is OBJ, though, seriously, telling you to be safe, be kind, do better, and enjoy the rest of your day.